Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom!
Well, hello there, human Tibbies, Earthlings. Hope you are wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bushkin. Today we're going to be talking about update 1.5, the beta that PUBG Mobile has put out, and it is a beta. It's definitely not finished yet. There's some things that you can probably tell are different when you're playing it, and there's all kinds of weird stuff that happens with the kill feed going in odd places and little glitches and things, but that's cool. It's a beta. That's what they're for. I went specifically to the beta and tried to download it and play it because I wanted to use the MG3 and get some stats for you guys. Only problem was it wasn't on the client. I hit about 30 to 40 drops in 4.5 hours and didn't see it once, which was pretty frustrating. But that means at least we'll get to do a video just on the rate of fire and that. I can tell you some interesting stuff. The M249 was a world drop, but it was also still in crates, which was pretty weird. Again, beta. There was a Hoverbike, and the Hoverbike is easily the coolest thing. And there was also a thing called the Hyperlines. That's the train lines you can see on your rider's screen at the moment that are running all over Erangel. And they were super handy. They're not the same train lines we had when there was events in the past where you would have to go in through a door, walk down into a subway, the Erangel subway. This is just all above board. They are above ground and they are absolutely everywhere. And they're actually pretty handy. There is one that runs across the bridge from mainland to Sosnovka military base. And they only stop at these stations. But the thing is, if you're getting bridge camped and you can catch one of these trains, then you can actually bypass a huge problem. I mean, if you all just lie down on the floor of the train and get across the other side. Now, I'm not 100% certain if they stop bullets. You can see this is the one I'm talking about right there, cruising on through. It was funny, the only real people I found were on Livik, and they were bot calling. A bunch of them were bot calling when I found them. I'm like, seriously? You're going to come all the way to the beta server and then bot call? I don't know what's wrong with people. We'll talk a little bit more about the Hoverbike, but I mean, things like this, you can see, I've got two radar dogs there that but my gun's sticking out the windscreen. Like, my character model never lets go of the gun. No matter what it's like doing, it's still holding the gun. Pretty weird. There's also some other stuff that's really cool, but I will talk about the Hoverbike a little bit here. It only goes about 20 kilometers, 19 kilometers an hour over water, but it is very, very handy. And there is some super sneaky stuff. I'll show it to you now. I don't know if they're going to patch this or if it's intentional, if it's feature or glitch, who knows? But if you go in one of these rivers where it's not so deep that you go all the way to the bottom, it will actually hover along the bottom of the water. So bottom of the river bed, if you boost it, it just dips the front, it just digs in, but it just sits there doing this. You're a submarine. Listen to that. How cool is that? And someone can sit on the back and fire a pistol. So I guess if they don't patch that, or if they keep it in as a feature, you could have a rear gunner with a pistol, like shooting at people underwater, which would be pretty broken. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. The other thing that was really amazing to me is watch how quick this thing goes up hills. This is not sped up. It goes from 0 to max speed like it is going flat. Yet it's just crazy. Watch, here we go. Straight up. No sweat. And it's also incredibly hard to run people over in this thing. I had more luck reversing over bots than I did actually running over bots because it hovers off the ground. Let's talk a little bit about the Riot Shield. That is deployable. You can pick them up. You can carry, I had like 6 of the things at one point. Watch how quickly this bike just takes off up the steepest hill on Erangel. No problems. It's also, look, I'm not going to lie, you can come off it like going over crazy terrain like this, but it doesn't tumble everywhere. It just stops, and it is very, very stable compared to a normal motorbike. It almost like self-corrects when it's, look at that. This is very, very cool. I love the Hoverbike. It's a huge bonus. It takes less than a clip to clear it, but it's about the same as a coupe. It doesn't take that much to clear a coupe, and it certainly doesn't take a whole lot more to clear the Hoverbike. This is an example of, I mean, these are great, these Riot Shields, by the way. They are going to be so, so valuable late game. If you get screwed on a wide open circle and you don't like snaking, like me, like you can see my kill feed is at the top right corner of my screen there. and it's on an angle. I don't know why. It's the beta. That's the beta. You also win a game and you get a statue. Like you win a game and you get a statue. I'll show you this. This has been on Game for Peace, the Chinese version of PUBG Mobile forever. When I played it, it was actually a loot crate that dropped down and then exploded and a chicken with confetti came out of it and all this. So although this is a lurid gold statue, it's actually somewhat subdued compared to the Chinese version. There is another feature called auto drop where you pick your spot and the game will auto drop you to that spot. You don't have to do anything. Just click the button, hit auto drop, there you go, and auto jump, and then you just sit in the plane and watch. And you can tell where you're dropping because there's a huge pole of light coming up from the ground just outside Pubg. It's actually pretty handy, but it will not drop you as fast as you would if you were doing your own drop. The animations are a little bit different too on the dropping. You saw where I kind of went into a swan dive there. There was a bit of movement on the back end. That's fine. There's lots of little bits and pieces like that. There's some other odd stuff. There's binoculars, and I had binoculars. I found them once in 5 hours, and they didn't do anything. They just let me zoom, and I lost the footage. I forgot to save it, in other words. It's stupid by me. That was outside of Gatka, on the plains between Gatka and Georgepole that I actually found those binoculars. But they allowed you to mark targets at an extremely long range, which was great, but you could use the scope as well to like the actual, you could shrink your scope. You could actually use that to zoom the binoculars in and out, which was pretty cool. And that's the auto drop feature right there, which, I mean, it's nice that it's in the game, but I don't know exactly what it's going to do. This is what a Riot Shield looks like. I did not find the drone that delivers goods. I know friends of mine, talking to you, Frankie, have found that drone. Also, all the throwables have new skins, new default skins. There you go. There's one of those Erangel Hyperlines. The drone didn't pop and the MG3 didn't pop. And this is strong. This thing, nothing's getting through it, like your apples. Allows you to do some interesting and creative things with your throwables if you want. There we go. Happy days. All right, there you go. Lovely. The radar dogs are not so much that they sniff out people. I couldn't find anyone near me to do anything with that, but they sniff out loot like hell yeah. If you're in Pubg, you don't want to waste your whole day looting the place, then just put one of the radar dogs up and you can see it's spotting loot and it's perma marking it for me. There's a level 3 vest there, extended mag over there. It'll find 8Xs, level 3 helmets. It's just very, very handy. And I managed to get my radar dog to come with me on the Erangel Hyperlink. There you go. The reason I was jumping on this was because I wanted to go all the way down near school where I knew that there was one of these air conveyors. I mean, that's a pretty strange thing, but if you've played any of the 100 Rhythm stuff, you know that you can get shot up in the air. Well, this is the same as that, but you actually control... I'll speed this up so that you actually don't have to watch me do it. It takes quite some time. There's no audio on these at the moment, and it's a little bit glitchy, but I'm sure they'll sort this out. Again, this is a beta. There's a drop over towards Georgepole, which I'm going to go and grab. See, there we go. Lay it right down. Unleash Hell Maximus. And you're... Oh, sorry. I got in the wrong side. You can switch sides. I think you can actually... One person drives and one person is just riding the pillion, so to speak, and just gets shot out and you control it from there. It said I was doing 24 kilometers an hour, which is bollocks. I was going much faster than 24 kilometers an hour. You can see that's the hyperlink down below me, which does like 130. And I was absolutely racing along with it. And you just fly very, very long way. Very, very long way. Very useful. It's another way of getting to the circle late, which I think is pretty cool. There's a lot in this patch. There is an indicator now on your rounds when you're firing. One does, when you get low, it goes from white to yellow to red. That's good. And you can also drop as many of these as you want. I use them to trap this bot, which was pretty cool and something fun for me to do while I was just wasting my time looking for an MG3. Now, I will find the MG3 as soon as it's available, and I will get the numbers and the stats for you. The protection and patrol robot was pretty cool as well. Yeah, that was a really big feature for me because Pachinki's a pain in the ass. Anyway, I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, leave them below and I'll try and answer them. And as always, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield.